Hey fellow bibliophiles, this is Sophia from Los Literature and welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be another book haul because I have no shelf control, and also I did get a few bookish accessories as well, so I'm going to talk about them too. Let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start with the bookish items because there's only a few of those. And the first one is this dark academia candle. It says it smells like melancholy moods and secret societies, and the fragrance is vintage leather and oud. And it just smells so good. I love it so much. I love this little like label on it. It makes it look really library-ish. And I'm gonna burn this while I read The Secret History by Donna Tartt, just because The Secret History is a very dark academia style book, so I'm so excited that I have a candle that goes with that. Alright, oops. The next thing I got are these see-through sticky notes. I have used a couple of them, but so far I haven't had a lot of success on getting my markers to like show up and not smudge. So I mean, I don't really know what to do to fix that, but I really want to use these because I already bought them, so I might as well use them. But I have a lot of different colors. I have white, purple, blue, green, wait, they're sliding, brown, and pink. And I think they would be awesome if I could just figure out the right writing utensils to use with them. So if you also use see-through sticky notes like this, leave a comment down below with what you use to write on them, because I have no clue. And I bought them, so I might as well use them, even though they weren't that expensive. Alright, what are we gonna do first? We're gonna do my nonfiction books first, just because there's only 2 of them. So, the first nonfiction I bought is The First Days of School by Harry K. Wong, and this is a textbook for how to be a better teacher. And it kind of outlines what you can do within the first days of school that'll make you super successful. I have been listening to this on audiobook, but I needed the physical copy really badly so that I could go back to like exact points and like just get those exact ideas that I need and not have to like listen to the whole thing again to try to find what I needed. And now I can just like leave sticky notes everywhere with all the stuff that I want to mark. And yeah, this book is honestly super helpful and super amazing. I am so excited to read this because I want to go into my first year teaching as prepared as I possibly can be, because the more preparation I do, the easier of a first year I'm gonna have. And like I've heard from a lot of teachers, no first year teaching is easy, and I'm not expecting it to be easy, but if I have groundwork laid out right from the get-go, it's gonna be a lot easier than it could have been, or it's gonna be a whole lot easier than maybe me not doing this and having a really hard first year because I have no idea what I'm doing. So this is really just to help me prepare, and I think of it as like the teaching Bible, because this book has 5 editions and it's still like the research in it is still valid and it still works. So that's crazy to me. Alright, the next nonfiction book I have is Crochet Wizardry, and this is the official Harry Potter crochet pattern book. I'm super excited for this because it has like actual crochet patterns for actual things from the movies. So like there's the Sorting Hat and Fox and Professor McGonagall's Animagus. We've got a Mandrake, we've got Dobby. And then there is the Burrows blanket, a golden snitch baby blanket. I think that's adorable. What I'm gonna work on first is the Hogwarts house scarves. I'll show you a picture. those are made with a specific type of crochet called Tunisian crochet. They're so beautiful because they actually look like they're knitted instead of crocheted. But like, here, I'll show you. That's Dobby. I'm so excited. I can't wait to make these because it's gonna be amazing. And I am thinking of selling them. So, I mean, if you guys want anything, let me know. This is what the scarves look like. They're exact pattern replicas from the movie. So yeah, I'm super excited to make them. I'm starting off with the scarves because they're the easiest thing in here. So yeah, I'm super excited and I can't wait to work my way through this whole book. Okay, we're gonna do classics next because this is a genre I almost never have anything in. And the only thing I have is Lodore by Mary Shelley. I haven't read anything else by Mary Shelley other than Frankenstein, and I really want to change that. So basically, Lodore is about 3 generations of women, and Mary Shelley was a feminist. And so this is a very feminist take on the patriarchal society in London when Mary Shelley was alive and writing. And this is also published as The Beautiful Widow, but I kind of like Lodore better. It just seems more mysterious, and it's got a lot of critiques about domesticity and masculinity, and it is also considered to be the most Jane Austen-like of Mary Shelley's novels. So I haven't read any Jane Austen, but I am very excited to read this. And how beautiful is this cover? I was just saying in another video that I love pink book covers, and this book just kind of solidifies that for me. I love it so much. It's just beautiful. And if you can't tell, these are antique revolvers, and it's kind of like a mirror image, which I really like. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this, and we'll see how it goes. It'll probably take me a while to read because it's not quite modern English, so. But I am very excited, and I think this book is beautiful. Okay, next we're gonna do, oh, shoot, you guys, I had another nonfiction book. I forgot. Okay, alright. So, the other nonfiction book, and this was actually gifted to me by my cousin, is I Want This to Work, an inclusive guide to navigating the most difficult relationship issues we face in the modern age. And this is by Elizabeth Earnshaw. And I'm very curious to read about this and to learn about healthy conversations or healthy relationships and how to have really hard conversations and actually put in the effort to make a relationship work. I think I have not read a book dealing with relationships, and if my cousin sent me this, it means that it really works, so I am very interested in reading this. Okay, next one we're gonna do is mystery thrillers. You guys can't tell, I read a lot of the same things. Alright, so my mystery thrillers are Career of Evil by Robert Galbraith. If you have already watched my TBR video for June, I did pick this book, so I am going to read this in June, and I'm very excited. This is the 3rd book in the Cormoran Strike series, and each book gets progressively bigger, so it's really interesting. I am very, I don't know, this series just speaks to me for some like really odd reason. Cormoran Strike is like this big like bear of a man who's really grumpy but also really endearing at the same time. I don't know what it is about him. He's just, I don't know, he feels like the uncle that doesn't have any kids but is loved by all the kids, if you know what I mean. And this book is got disability rep in it, and well, the whole series does, but it is, I'm very intrigued about this one because a serial killer from Cormoran Strike's past comes back and he is determined to track him down this time. So we'll see if I like it, and stay tuned because I will include this in my wrap-up at the end of June. I feel like I rhymed that. It wasn't on purpose. Okay, the next 4 books I got, I'm so excited. It is the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is actually her first series, I think, because this author also wrote the Inheritance Games, but I believe she wrote this first. So we have The Naturals, Killer Instinct, All In, and then the last book is Bad Blood. I love these covers, and when I saw that Barnes & Noble had all of them and they were all matching, I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna get them all. Now, I really want to read these series because it's pitched as Criminal Minds, but teenagers, and I was like, oh, hell yeah. I love anything that is slightly resembling Criminal Minds, so of course I'm gonna love this. Yes, I am so excited to read these, and these spines are so aesthetic. Look how they match, how the font is all the same, how they have the little icons at the top, and also they're clearly labeled, which I love. I hate it when authors don't clearly label book orders in their series. Like Sarah J. Maas is infamous for this. I have to look at the her young adult series. I just blanked on what it was called. I don't know why I blanked on what it was called, but I did. I want to say Game of Thrones. That's not it. Although that author does it too. He doesn't clearly label the books. What is it called? Heir of Fire is the 3rd book. Crown of Midnight's the Throne of Glass. Her Throne of Glass series isn't labeled with the book order, so I have to constantly look it up, and it's annoying. So for this to be so clearly labeled, dream come true. I love that. And I love these books, and I want to love them so badly that I'm actually scared to read them, because what if I end up not liking them? But I know I will. I'm just like freaking myself out. So yes, and when I finally do pick these out of my TBR bowl, I am gonna read them all back to back because I'm trying to do that with my series. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, but I feel like it's gonna be great at the same time. And I am just super excited to finally have those, because for weeks I was literally like, all I want to read is The Naturals, all I want to do is watch Criminal Minds, and now I have a Paramount Plus subscription and I have The Naturals, so I am happy. Alright, let's do Apocalypse and Horror next. You guys are probably like, Apocalypse? Yeah. I do have an Apocalypse book. So the next book I got is the 100 Day 21, and this is the 2nd book in the 100 series. I think it is. Not clearly labeled. It is the 2nd book in the 100 quartet. There are 4 books. This is the 2nd one. And the series is by Cass Morgan. Many of you probably know it from the show on the CW, but here's the thing. I was told, and I don't know if this is true, that Clark and Bellamy end up together at the end of the books. And that's not true in the show. So, you know what I mean? Like, I need that in this. But I think that the actors for Clark and Bellamy in the show are legitimately perfect, so that's just how I imagine the characters in the book. Because they're just already perfect in my mind, so why fix something that's not broken, right? And this one is about, basically it's been 21 days since the 100 were sent down to Earth, and they are now facing an unknown enemy. And yeah, I think it's gonna be great. I'm excited to read this. I always love reading apocalypse books for some reason. They're just like, I don't know why, but like if The Walking Dead, the show, was a book, I'd probably read that too. Don't tell me that, because I know there's probably bookizations out there, and I don't need to spend money on those, because I will. So that's my apocalypse book. Now my horror book is Krampus, the Yule Lord by Brom. And if you will also have seen that I picked this book for my June TBR if you watched that video. So I am reading this in June, and I am very excited because I love Krampus, and I love how like there's like the bad Santa Claus, and he's the bad Santa Claus. I also love Krampus because he's very pagan, and I feel like a lot of pagan lore is like not recognized as pagan these days. So I love that. And yeah, I like to think that my family is more pagan, but it's just interesting. I am so excited to read this, and I'm so excited to look at all the beautiful artwork in this book as well. Okay, we've only got a few more. So next we are gonna do romance, and I have four new romance books. The first one is The Secret Service of Tea and Treason, and this is the third book in the series that I don't know what it's called. I don't know if the series has a name, but it's 3 books. They're all set in the same universe, and they all follow different characters, but characters from the previous books often are in there. And so the first book is The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels, which is about lady pirates who have flying houses. The second book is called The League of Gentlewoman Witches, which is about witches who also have flying houses. And this book is The Secret Service of Tea and Treason, which is about female spies, and I hope that once again there are flying houses, because the flying houses are honestly the best part of the books. But these love stories are also adorable and sexy, even though there's no spice, but they're so sexy, and it's like, okay, I think I'm just a sucker for historical romance. Like, it just makes me feel something, you know? It's adorable, and I love the covers of these books. They're all amazing and feminine and bright and just vibrant, and yeah, I just really love them. I also love how they're kind of an animated style. So yes, and this one is about Alice, who is Agent A, and she is part of a secret government intelligence group, and now she has to work with Daniel Bixby, who is her greatest rival, and they have to pretend to be married. I'm so excited. You have no idea. And you know what? I think this might just inspire me to reread the other books too, because they were very good as well. Okay, the next books I'm genuinely excited for, which I think says there's something wrong with me. But the first one is There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark, and the second one is There Is No Devil by Sophie Lark. And I'm a sucker for these snake covers because they're gorgeous. Anyways, this is serial killer romance, I think. I don't know a lot about it. All I've heard is people say this is a really good Sophie Lark book or duet, so I mean, might as well. I also want to own more dark romance. The issue with dark romance is the covers are sometimes not discreet, so these are pretty discreet, and I love that. My other dark romance, Hunting Adeline, and Does It Hurt, also have discreet covers, so like, we're good. But these ones, I'm very excited to read. They're about Cole and Mara, and basically how Cole becomes obsessed with Mara. So yeah, I'm very interested in reading these. Also, these are a matte cover, which I love, but with the black one, I just know I'm gonna get fingerprints on it, so not excited about that. At least the fingerprints don't show up as much on the white cover. But yes, these are the next 2 books I bought, and they are amazing. Look at that matching spine. I love how these are kind of like a yin and yang cover, so that like they do match when you look at them as a series, but they're like distinct. Anyways, okay, the last romance book I bought is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I'm a sucker for Raylo, so I mean, I'm just not gonna say anything else. It's a little embarrassing, but I mean, I am a Star Wars nerd, so I guess it's gonna happen. And these Allie Hazelwood's books follow basically the same format, but I'm a person who likes routine and structure and reading and watching the same things over and over again, so that doesn't bother me. I know that does bother some people, but I do love formulaic books just because I know that even though there's going to be angst, there's also going to be happiness and usually an HEA. So yeah, that makes me happy. Sorry, HEA is happily ever after for anyone who didn't know. We're not gatekeeping book to book talk. What are they called? Code words, I guess? They're not code words. What are they? Why do I want to say pronouns? They're not pronouns. I'm like losing the ability to think. I had a long day. I went to work and then I came home and I cleaned. It's been a long day. But I did get to read some of my new book. So, okay, the last category is fantasy. So, we're going to start with Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. This is a book I'm currently reading. I'm currently going to finish it in June, and it's amazing. I love it so far. I'm obsessed with Vin and how, like, reserved she is. It's really interesting because reserved is not usually a trait we see in female characters in fantasy, and I'm like loving it because in public I'm also a very reserved person unless it's people I know, and like to get a character that like resembles that in me, I just, oh, it makes me so happy. And yeah, this is just, I know people say this is like his first real fantasy, and honestly I can't tell. I don't read super critically though. Okay, I'm gonna rephrase that. I do read critically, but usually debut novels don't bother me unless the problems are like glaringly obvious. And this is a Sanderson book. I mean, he's just a level above a lot of fantasy authors. I mean, a lot of people would agree with that. He is. He's just a level above. I'm sorry if you don't agree with me. That's your loss. Okay, the next book I'm really excited for because it was one of Brandon Sanderson's new like projects that he was putting out, and it is The Frugal Wizard's Guidebook for Surviving Medieval England. And I got the Barnes & Noble edition, and look how amazing it is. And like, I don't know if this is a special edition or if all editions are like this, but if all editions are like this, this is amazing. And even like, oh, it's got a really boring front cover, but I like the spine. The spine's nice. And I am very excited to read this. It is a shorter Sanderson book as well, so that does surprise me. Oh, look, there's doodles on the end page too. I love how these are all monochromatic blue and keeping with like the blue cover. And I also love this cover. It's amazing, and it's very glowy in the light. And this book is about a man who awakens in a clearing with no memory, and this guidebook is supposed to help him survive, but it's exploded during transit, so there's only like a few pieces of it left. And that premise is just super interesting to me. And I mean, I want to read this back note because it's just interesting, and it just caught my eye. I didn't realize this was on here. It says, "Dear reader, sometimes an idea just won't let go of you for years. The initial seed of this novel was the title that eventually turned into The Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England. At first, there was no story to go with that title, but I wrote it down and kept coming back to it, wondering what that book could possibly be about. Something else I thought about off and on for years was the classic concept of a man waking up in another time and another place with no idea how he got there. It was when those two ideas came together and I placed a book with that title into that man's hands that this novel was born. I hope you'll have as much fun with it as I did." Brandon Sanderson. So this book is like a book about a book. That's really cool. Anyways, yeah, I'm super excited to read this. And keeping with like the blue theme, we have The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman. I'm gonna be honest, the title is really what caught my eye because I was like, library? I love books about books, okay? and books about libraries. There's just something so satisfying about that. And it's about Irene and Kai, and Irene is a professional spy for the mysterious library, and they are sent on a mission to retrieve a particularly dangerous book, but the book has already been stolen by the time they get there, so now they have to try to track it down. I am very interested in this. I also saw a lot of this series at Barnes & Noble, so if I like it, I know where to find it. And yeah, I'm gonna keep myself kind of in the dark with this because I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. As with most of my books. Alright, and the last book is Dark Age by Pierce Brown. This is the last book in the Red Rising series, although I think he's writing more in that universe. And yeah, I'm not going to say anything about this because it's the literal last book. I've only read the first, but I have the other ones, so now my series is complete for now. And I've heard that you have to take a break between Iron Gold and Dark Age because they're both emotionally draining, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna read them back to back, so wish me luck. Yeah, this is basically just about Darrow once again trying to, I have no idea. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea. We're gonna keep it at that. Okay, and before we get to the last book, which is very special, we're gonna have a quick drink. Long videos make me so thirsty. Okay, so this is a very special book that I ordered and waited 2 months for. So it finally arrived today, and I'm gonna unbox it on camera to enjoy with y'all. Scissors. This is probably not the best way to do this. I might just end up reading this in June too, because I don't know if I'll be able to stand it. The book is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I caved. I gave in to all the hype on TikTok and I bought it. Am I like upset? No, because I'm fully expecting to love this. I love romantic fantasy. I love that shit. I eat that shit up. But also, like, I've heard there's amazing disability rep in here, and I just love reading books like that because even though I don't have a disability, I do have asthma. And so just seeing other characters deal with lifelong conditions just kind of makes me feel seen too. Like, I know asthma isn't anywhere near as bad as some other lifelong conditions people unfortunately have to suffer with, but it still makes my life pretty miserable on occasions. So yes, and I just I'm literally so excited. I think I'm gonna read this after I finish Mistborn. I might even start this before. No, I can't allow myself to start this before I finish Mistborn. That would be really bad. Anyways, oh my god, I love when authors do this. They put the map as the end papers. It just makes so much sense. Victoria Aveyard did that with Realm Breaker, and I was just like, yes, that is exactly what needs to happen. And oh wow, so this author has actually written more than 15 books. So this isn't her first book, which means I have a high level of expectation when it comes to the editing and when it comes to the, what's it called? To the writing itself. Like, I expect flawless grammar, flawless syntax, I expect sentence variety, like all that stuff. So yes, I am so excited, and I've heard that a lot of the dragons' names and a lot of the names in here are actually Gaelic, which is really interesting. Gaelic is not often a language used in books, and I think it should be because it is very fantastical and magical, I would say. So yes, this is the last book in this video, the last book of my most recent haul. As of now, I'm officially on a book buying ban. There will be no more books to be had until next year. or even what's a better goal, till I read all the books I already own. But that's a dream, and that'll never happen. So until next year, we will not be buying any more books. Yeah, okay. Anyways, thank you so much for taking the time to join me here. I am so excited to have all these books and to hopefully read through a few of them before the end of the year. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below with any books that you have bought lately. Don't forget to follow me on Storygraph at Sophia_Dawn. Just be aware that some of my reviews do contain spoilers. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!